One of my favorite tricks when I try to buy or sell something or conduct any sort of business on Craigslist is to try to get people emotionally involved in investing into trying to make a deal and then try to haggle them at the very last minute. Because once people spend time to communicate with you or maybe to travel to where they're going to buy or sell something, they spend money involved in it, gas money or any other expense, or maybe they give up other deals in order to try to conduct business with you. Once you get them to incur some costs like that, it's much easier to control the deal going forward. I love playing this game so much. Not so much that it saves me a lot of money, but because it's a fun social game to play for me. Until it becomes dangerous sometimes, and I thought I'd give a warning about doing this. So this past March, at the beginning of COVID, I was trying to buy a gold coin on Craigslist when I started playing this game. I was talking to the seller. There was about a day and a half, 2 days of back and forth emails where, I slept in, I had an emergency. Oh my God, I have to get COVID testing today because it's the only day that's available. And let's wait a few days for the test results to come back. I don't want to get you sick. And then finally, we were gonna meet up. And he asked me where we would like to meet, and I gave him, because it's a relatively expensive item, lots of cash, lots of gold involved. So I said, why don't we meet at the lobby of a bank? And I gave him a bank that I knew was closed. Google had not updated the fact that the bank had closed because of COVID. This was in mid-March when so many things were in flux. And I knew that once he drove 5-6 miles to that bank and we couldn't do business there, that would just add to the sunk cost fallacy, if you will. And so he had already traveled. Actually, he didn't travel out. He called the bank ahead of time, but it was the morning of the supposed deal, so now we can't meet there. And I gave him another bank, and I knew that he would mistake two different branches if you were not in that area, because I've gotten the two confused so many times before too. And so that delayed him by another half an hour, 45 minutes. And then finally we get to the correct branch, and I told him, I just found somebody who can sell the same coin for $200 less. Could you at least match that price? Hey, I didn't find any. I didn't care about buying the coin so much. For me, it's more of a sport sometimes. And he got so upset that when he got into his car, he raced around the parking lot, going about 30 to 40 miles an hour in the busy of a bank in a busy bank parking lot, at a busy time during the day. Too, you got to remember this was at the beginning of COVID, when people were trying to go to the bank to withdraw $10,000 just in case something were to go wrong, and I was scared out of my mind. It was a bad idea to be doing this in the middle of an emergency. I mean, during the middle of a peacetime, maybe it's an okay game to play. But it goes to show how emotionally attached people get to a certain deal. There were 3 or 4 days where he could have easily walked away from that and looked for another buyer, but because I kept getting him to invest sunk costs into the deal, he had a hard time backing away from it. It makes me realize that you constantly have to ask yourself, if you're in a relationship, would I start this relationship today if I had met this person today? COVID-19 is a good opportunity for us to evaluate some of that stuff, right? When my former boss calls me to go back to work this month that I left in March, would I start that job today if the offer were given today, or would I take a different offer, right? That's another question you should ask yourself. A lot of people are panic buying or panic selling their investments because of the price fluctuation. Think fresh. You just graduated school today and you landed your first job, you're investing your first paycheck. Well, is this something you would invest in? If it is, then you should keep it. If it's not, you should sell, and you should certainly not buy more, right? It helps to think fresh sometimes and not get invested. The guy on Craigslist, on day 2, he could have easily said that, if I know this guy is so flaky, would I keep browsing for other buyers, or would I start with him, right? If I wouldn't start with him, maybe I shouldn't continue with him either. Right? Thanks for watching.